Hello, work life warriors. I hope you're doing well. Today, I want to come and do a book review. May has been so busy for me. I have not had the chance to read for pleasure. I stopped maybe like the beginning of May. I was reading 3 books at the same time. Um, there's Three Magic Words there and Greatly, and I'm in a book club and we're reading The Portrait of Dorian Gray. So I had not picked up any of those books all of May. I had not had the chance to read for pleasure. Things are kind of slowing down now for a little while. And so I would like to go ahead and I'm halfway through Three Magic Words, even though I read it each year. I'm halfway through, and so I would just like to go ahead and do a review on this and finish this book by the end of the week. So you should get one more video from me on this book, and you should get a couple of videos from Darren Greatly and one overall video from Dorian Gray on a different channel. So yes, today what I want to talk about is a passage on page 61 in the Illusion chapter, and it says, "The power in which you project your thoughts is the only creative force there is, and it builds all constructs, all form and circumstance, but it does this according to how you think." And it's this that I kind of want to talk about because recently I was talking to someone who was helping me get some things together, and we were debating the ideas of like leadership, or what is considered leadership or management. And for me, or what is considered an employee, that was ultimately what the conversation went to. What is considered an employee, and to leaders versus employees. So is there a difference between the leaders of the organizations and employees? And I offered that leaders and employees are one and the same, that all people are leaders when, given the opportunity, definitely because they lead themselves, but also that it between the two, it it really doesn't matter per se, whether you're an employee or a leader, because if all of you get the same paycheck, if all of you work for the idea, that's what I was arguing for. Any person who works for the idea, whether it is a leader or not a leader, what they consider an employee, which everyone gets the same paycheck signed by one person or several people, but even that person works for the idea. So the idea is the first creation. It is what you thought about, what you created, and you created it mentally. And to bring it out into the tangible world is second creation. So everything that we're seeing around us, from the clothes that we wear, this phone that I'm recording on, the lights, the floor, the house, the cars that we drive, all of those things, first creation was a thought, an idea, and it was created in the mind. And you, as being a tangible being, we have the opportunity to actually bring that idea to, tangibly out into the world, bring it into fruition by working on it, being accountable, being responsible for the idea, and bringing it into the minds of the people. But the first creation will always be the idea. And sometimes you have an idea for something and you go to make it or create it, and the idea doesn't match what you had in your head. It could be better, it could be worse, but the idea is always the first creation, and we're dealing with the second creation when we think about this tangible world that we live in. So in Three Magic Words, when they talk about the power in which you project your thoughts is the only creative force there is, and it builds and constructs all form and circumstance, but it does this according to how you think. Absolutely. So any ideas was first, created in this creative force, and then it was brought out into the world for us to share collectively. And so when you think about thoughts, or when you think about an idea, they are very, very, very powerful, and it is actually the only creative force there is. Anything other than that is just emulating what you just created. So second creation is, for instance, I dreamed of, making cars, because before then there weren't any cars. So, that was the first creation. And then once I, brought the car into the tangible world, that is the second creation. And that helps us all. And it is a way that, because I thought that I could bring it to the world and it could help the world, that we all creatively took that idea and made it what it was or what it is. Because also there are many ideas that are created and brought into the world that are rejected and go away, or some that just don't withstand time. So the only creative force is what you're thinking, and thoughts are powerful, ideas are powerful. And although it seems impossible for us to watch our thoughts and our ideas, we can control them. We may not control what comes in and out our brain, which eventually you can slow down your thinking and what you think about. But you have control on whether you will hang on to a thought that comes into your mind, an idea, and understand that your mind is fertile, sacred ground, and you just can't allow any thoughts to seed and take root in there, because anything that you think is ripe for creating or being created in your tangible world, in the physical reality. So you want to watch what you're thinking, and you want to watch what you hold on to, or how you consume your time, or just in general the diet that you have, because all of these things contribute to your thoughts. So whatever you're reading, whatever you're listening to, whatever you're watching, it all contributes, and also the people you talk to and you're around, it all contributes to your thoughts. And thoughts are very, very, very powerful. Thoughts can work for you, they can work against you, but you don't want to constantly get in a negative thought pattern where you're always thinking negative, where you're hanging on to every little thought, because one leads to another and leads to another, and you dig yourself in a big hole. You want to guard your sacred, fertile mind and make sure that you are planting seeds that will reap benefits for you, to take you where you want to go, to help you be who you want to be. If you only have time to think of one or the other, you want to make sure that you're spending your time focusing on the ones that will produce the results that you want. And that's really all what three magic words is. And we think creativity is everything that we see in front of us, but what we see is the result of creativity itself happens in the mind, and we have to be more careful about what's going on in our mind at any given time. We have to manage our mind and practice awareness. Meditation is a great way to get like control over your mind and be able to be aware of what you're thinking, so that you know not to grab on to a thought that doesn't produce what you want, the result you want. So without awareness, or without a practice to help you understand, one, your mind is fertile, and two, what you think really matters, any idea or thought that you create in your mind can manifest in the world. And what you're constantly thinking of manifests in the world. And your life is a representation of everything that you think about. So if you spend your time thinking about bills, you'll get more bills. If you spend your time thinking about being unhappy, you will get more things that produce unhappiness. When you spend your time thinking about, poverty, you'll have more situations that lead you there. It is your responsibility, and really the only job you have, two jobs: to control what you think about and to enjoy your experience. Those are your two jobs, and it is in your best interest to guard your mind, to watch your thoughts. And that's ultimately what this whole book is about, is understanding that you know you have the ability to create whatever circumstances you want in this world, and you do it through what you think about, and the conviction behind what you think about. And we all know that when bad things are happening to you, it's easier to feel something behind the bad things. And so, for instance, if you're worrying about bills, you're not just thinking about bills, you are actually feeling um, a feeling behind it. So you're worrying behind them. But is a different thing when you're, trying to reprogram to positivity. You may be thinking about something that you want to accomplish, but it's not easy to produce the feelings, the conviction. And so your everyday practices have to fill you up with whatever you need to be convicted about where you want to go, who you want to be, what you want to do in this life. And you cannot waste your thoughts and your time and your creative force working on or thinking or ruminating about, problems that are out of your control or negativity or things that just don't make you feel good. So we have the power to take control over our minds, and it's excuse me, and it's in our best interest to do just that. And so, Three Magic Words is a very powerful book. I read it every single year. It has so many gems in it. Every time I go back and read it, I learn something new. I'm halfway through this book and I'm going to continue to read it. Tell me what you think about everything that I said today about creation, first creation, second creation, the creative mind, and how you're using it in your life. And I will come back with another video wrapping up this book by the end of this week, and I probably will put out some more videos either today or tomorrow, sometime this week. So I hope this helps, Work Life Warriors. I hope that you're reading and you're engaging your brain. Your brain is a muscle, so it needs to be worked out. And the best way to work it out is to read. It also opens your mind, give you a great vocabulary, help you to be more open-minded, emotionally grounded. Reading is so beneficial, and it is a tool that I actively engage in when I want to decrease cortisol in my body and relax. So have a great day, Work Life Warriors. I'll talk to you soon.